Hey, what is up, guys? It's Brendan here, and today we're going to be going into why it is now time to move your money out of your Chase savings account. Now, I personally love Chase for a lot of their other types of products when it comes to their checking accounts, their investment accounts, as well as their credit cards as well. I think Chase is a really good banking provider for a lot of different types of banking services. But when it comes to their savings accounts, I would say that definitely one of the worst. Now, I have actually come to make this video even as long as 5 years ago, back when I had a little bit more hair and even different glasses. And I was warning people, hey, Chase savings accounts, never use it long term. So what are the reasons for that? What are the pros and cons of using a Chase savings account? What does it actually look like today as well, in terms of my opinions and my feedback, as well as like, hey, Chase still hasn't changed, and I will still continue to heed the same warning and offer some recommendations for maybe some other savings accounts from better banking providers that offer just better savings accounts in general. So that's what we're going to be diving into here in today's video. If you do want to check out anything mentioned here in today's video, you can go and check out those links linked down below in the video description. If you hit that like button as well, it does really help out the channel. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into things. Now, of course, taking a look here just at Chase Savings and what they currently offer with the Chase Savings account, it hasn't really changed much. Even in the last 5 years, the same exact account basically offers the same lackluster benefits when it comes to what Chase offers in way of their Chase savings accounts. They're going to have some monthly service fees, which can be waived as long as you have a minimum balance of at least $300. And really the biggest thing here with Chase savings accounts that is one of the biggest negatives is their lack of interest rates, right? If you go here and you see the Chase savings account interest rates, you click into it, you go to this page here, you're going to see that the balance across any balance, right, no matter how much money you have in a Chase savings account, with a basic Chase savings account, it's going to be just that 0.01% interest rate. At the rate, and the annual percentage yield is that 0.01, which is absolutely abysmal when you compare it to a lot of other banking providers out there. And it's even gotten a lot better over the last 5 years since I even made that original video about Chase savings accounts as well. So maybe what are some other options, and how much does this actually impact you, right? You may be thinking, oh, okay, 0.01% interest rate. Oh, maybe that's not that bad, not a big deal. Maybe I'll still use a Chase savings account, right? If you're looking for a Chase savings account review and kind of looking at the pros and cons, okay, well, maybe a Chase savings account might be okay if you're only having $300 in the account, or you're only planning to have maybe $1,000 in the Chase savings account. But if you plan on actually using this savings account to hold a significant amount of money, I'm going to show you in just a second here how much that can actually impact you in the long run over even just a 5 to 10 year period of even just holding like $5,000 in an account, right? Not even a huge amount, right? Even just a moderate savings account balance, it can make a big difference in the long run, depending on what your annual percentage yield and your overall savings account interest rate is, because that's kind of the whole point of using a savings account in the first place, right? Checking accounts, you don't typically see that. It's not a big deal. You're maybe not holding as much money in a checking account. So with Chase, it doesn't really matter that the interest rate might be low, but on a savings account, really does make a world of difference, because you can earn a lot of money actually on savings accounts, especially nowadays with a lot of different savings account options out there. Speaking about options, I do have a link to this page, which I'm about to go to in the video description if you do want to check out any of these companies mentioned here. And these are some of the best high yield savings accounts. Again, this is a partnership with Money, and you can go ahead and check out this page linked down below in the video description if you do want to get the most latest and up-to-date best high yield savings accounts. These can be great alternative savings accounts to Chase, right? A Chase savings alternative. These are some good companies that you could use to earn more money on your money, essentially. And I'll be showing you exactly how the calculation works out as well if you're a little bit bit new to how interest rates work and things like that. Again, I will leave the link to this page here in the video description. We'll be taking a look at some of the companies a little later in this video, just to give you an idea of maybe some options you can shop around with or take a look at. But going back to the simple calculation, right, as to how much a Chase savings account might be losing you in the long run, right? If we start with an initial deposit of $10,000, right, moderate savings account, 10 grand, put away in a savings account. Now, you're not necessarily gonna, save your way to a millionaire status or anything like that. This is just this basic savings account, right? I would still advise people to invest your money in the long run in an investment account, but we're just taking a look at savings accounts here for today's video. If you contribute even just that $200 a month, over a 10-year period, right? Your total initial deposit was $10,000. Your total contributions was $24,000, and the interest earned is $21.91. This is if you had a Chase savings account at that 0.01% APY. Now, APYs and annual percentage yield rates do tend to change over time depending on where interest rates stand. As you can see here, just for an example, with SoFi, you could get up to 3.8% APY. That's a lot more than 0.01 with Chase, just comparing one company in terms of what a savings account interest rate could look like. We'll be taking a look at more companies later in this video, but just giving you a basic calculation to understand the difference here. With a Chase savings account, your interest earned would only be $21.91, right? Now, let's just say, for example's sake, just to keep it easy, let's just say 4% APY over a long period of time, even over that 10-year period. You know what? Even let's just dial it back even to 3%, just in case interest rates go down, because they do fluctuate. They do change over time, depending on where monetary policy is. So let's just say you get a 3%, right? That's over $7,000 over a 10-year period, contributing $200 a month, starting with a $10,000 initial deposit. Boom. I mean, you see how much money that adds up in the long run. It really makes a lot of sense to get your money out of a basic Chase savings account and move to something that can offer you a higher yield interest bearing account. And there's a lot of options out there. Can earn you just so much more money. It's a lot of money that you're leaving on the table in the long run. Again, you're not necessarily going to save your way to being a millionaire, but at least for the amount of money that you keep in your savings account for emergency fund or just maybe saving up to buy a car or whatever you need to save that money for, that's a lot of extra money. Now, you will have to pay some taxes on the interest that you earn in a savings account. Do keep that in mind, but it's pretty easy to file that as well when you do your tax returns. It's really not a big deal. Whatever percentage you pay in taxes is going to be much less than actually just not earning any money on that interest, right? Even at 3%, that's over $7,000 over a 10-year period. It's a lot of money, right? Compared to, again, we go back to the 0.01 with Chase, boom, $34,000 total in your savings balance, even just a 3% being a little conservative, of $41,000. So it's a huge interest difference over the long run. Now, if we even take a look at a period over time, right? If we take a look at this calculator, again, this one's by NerdWallet, this one is by Bankrate. If we take a look at the NerdWallet one, even over a 5-year period, 0%. Let's just go bump that to 3%. Total balance over a 5-year period, contributing $100 per month. Even then, it's not going to necessarily be as much in the first year, $168, but even then, it adds up over time. The total amount of interest that you earn, even over over $1,000 in interest over that period of time, right? Even just over a 5-year period from now all the way to that period, that's over $1,000 that you're just throwing away by not having it in a proper savings account, right? So what are maybe some options here when it comes to high yield savings accounts alternative to Chase? Of course, I already mentioned SoFi as one of the providers here. And taking a look at their website here, as you can see, you can earn up to 3.8% APY with direct deposits. Now, depending on how much money you actually deposit, a lot of these different savings account options do have variable rates depending on how much you may be putting in. And they do have certain minimums to get to the certain interest rates for some of them. Some of them have no minimums, right? Some of them have no minimums to get that APY. So it's definitely worth shopping around depending on how much money you have. Next, we have CIT Bank as well. This one is earning up to 4.3% on balances of $5,000 or more. And you can earn, that's so much more than the 0.01% abysmal rate that Chase Savings still continues to offer. Again, even as long as 5 years ago, I made this video and it's still the same situation here. So I just want to stress that enough. You know, with CIT, even in here with 4.3%. We continue down the list here with Discover. Discover, very popular bank for their credit cards, 3.7%. Right? And zero minimum balance to earn that APY. So maybe if you have less than $5,000, maybe go with Discover, right? There's no minimum here, and you're still going to earn, you know, as you can see here, over 5 times national savings average, no monthly fees, no monthly balance requirements. So Discover might be good if you maybe have a little bit less money in your savings account. Discover might be a great option to get that 3.7%, which is going to be better than the 0.01 with most bigger banks. It's not just Chase that does this. Honestly, a lot of the other big banks like Wells Fargo and Bank of America do the same thing as Chase, just because they don't have to offer anything better, right? They know that most people probably don't even care that much, or maybe if they do have a lesser amount where it doesn't make a difference. But you know, even just a few thousand, even up to $5,000, it's still going to make a difference over the long haul as to free money that you're basically throwing away by not using a high yield savings account. And then last but not least here, we also have Barclays, which does have a tiered savings account, no monthly maintenance fees or anything like that. Again, some of these do offer a cash bonus, such as CIT Bank, as well as SoFi offers a cash bonus. Again, be sure to check out the links in the video description get the most realistic and up-to-date offers depending on when you're watching this video. This list will be updated as well here if you go to this page here to get the most up-to-date offers in terms of what each of the different companies are offering. But Barclays does also have a tiered savings account, so you can get more if you do have more money in the savings account, and this is going to make a bigger difference, you know, if you're at that higher dollar amount. But even less than 10K, you still get the 4.1 with them, which is pretty nice. So again, depending on what your total balance is that you have or what you plan on maybe transferring over, it might make sense to go with one company over another. And this page is a good way to kind of easily compare and contrast, at least with these different companies. There's a lot of different other high yield savings account companies out there. You know, I use Ally Bank myself. I like them as well. They do offer a high yield savings account. Again, any of these companies mentioned here in today's video also offer high yield savings accounts. But the real big point in the long run in making this video is just comparing how much more money you would make from a high yield savings account compared to just a basic Chase savings account, and why I urge people to just get out of a Chase savings account, because you're really throwing money out the window when it comes to their interest rates and what they offer. It's honestly still shocking to me that even 5 years later, they're still offering the same 0.01% interest rate, which is why I had to make this video here today, just to stress again, switch to some sort of high yield savings account. You're going to make a lot more money in the long run. Again, you know, over a 10-year period, just that little bit of interest rate, even if the interest rate changes a little bit, it's still better than nothing. At the end of the day, it's definitely worth moving your savings account, especially if you have even just a few $1,000s. It can make a decent difference in the long run, you know, even after just 5 years, if you're contributing to that account on a regular basis. A few $1,000s, right? An extra $1,000 or something like that, that changes your overall savings account in the long run by a good margin, just by earning that extra interest that you would not be getting with a Chase savings account. So guys, I hope you found this video helpful on, again, why to get your money out of a Chase savings account. Again, nothing against Chase, well, kind of against Chase, but I do like them for their checking products, their investment products, and their credit card products, but their savings account product, it really does leave less to be desired. So guys, if you do want to check out any of the other companies mentioned here in today's video as Chase savings account alternatives, you can check out those links linked down below in the video description. If you guys found this video helpful, then be sure to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and notification bell so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. Anyway guys, that's all for today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.